Takes his duties seriously. Tonight, Drew Hadwell continues his series of special reports from Camp Pendleton, California. In this report, we see why the Marines view themselves as the best in the military.
Report.
Go to it all, President.
Eddie. Good afternoon, Marines. I like it.
Obedience and discipline, two qualities cherished by Marines. Honor, valor, and patriotism also fit the profile. It may be the smallest branch of the military, but Marines view themselves as the elite corps.
As the slogan goes, the few, the proud. Not everyone can be a Marine. Only a select few can.
By now, you've probably figured out that Marine corpsmen are very proud of who they are, especially their esprit de corps, and they have very definite opinions and attitudes about the other military services.
We can't go nowhere without the Navy. And the rest of them, you know, Air Force, I guess they fly us over. I don't know what the Army does for us, but the rest of them, you know, like I said.
No, there's no animosity between.
Oh, no, not much. No, not much.
I mean, I imagine that. I'd like to know how did you guys get that attitude when it comes to the Army? They're just.
How do they get the same? They get the same attitude about the Marines.
History has also shaped that Marine attitude.
We've done things that we weren't supposed to be able to do. Iwo Jima, we weren't supposed to win in Iwo Jima. Tarawa, we weren't supposed to do things like that, but we did them.
Politics isn't the grunt's game, but he does have a clear view of his enemy and a definite opinion of him.
Saddam Hussein is obviously a war criminal in my mind, killing his own people, using gas.
Any man that uses chemical warfare against anybody is known to be, you know, dangerous, assassin, fanatical.
Proud, courageous, yes, and at times arrogant. That is the Marine way. Drew Hadwell, WAFF 48 News.
WAFF 48 News would like to thank Eastern Airlines for flying our crew back from California. Camp Pendleton, by the way, covers more than 360,000 acres, and tomorrow we'll have more on this huge and demanding complex.
In tonight's Operation Desert Shield update, hostages continue to messages of love.
My name is Lance Corporal Jarvis Jamar. I'm from Madison, Alabama. I'd like to say hello to my mother, my father, and all my family and friends, and a special hello to my girlfriend, Stephanie.
Marines at Camp Pendleton.
My name is Lance Corporal Walker, and I'd like to say hello to all my family. I'm doing well, and I'd like to say I love my little daughter.
In Huntsville's Kilo Battery, home is a long way away. They're undergoing training for Gulf duty at Camp Pendleton, California. News 48's Drew Hadwell continues his special report with a look at Marine pride, why they consider themselves the best in the military.
Report.
Go to it all, President.
Eddie. Good afternoon, Marines. I like it.
Obedience and discipline, two qualities cherished by Marines. Honor, valor, and patriotism also fit the profile. It may be the smallest branch of the military, but Marines view themselves as the elite corps.
As the slogan goes, the few, the proud. Not everyone can be a Marine. Only a select few can.
By now, you've probably figured out that Marine corpsmen are very proud of who they are, especially their esprit de corps, and they have very definite opinions and attitudes about the other military services.
We can't go nowhere without the Navy. And the rest of them, you know, Air Force, I guess they fly us over. I don't know what the Army does for us, but the rest of them, you know, like I said.
No, there's no animosity between
No,
you.
no, not much.
No,
No, not much.
I mean, I imagine that. I'd like to know how did you guys get that attitude when it comes to the Army? They're just.
How do they get the same? They get the same attitude about the Marines.
History has also shaped that Marine attitude.
We've done things that we weren't supposed to be able to do. Iwo Jima, we weren't supposed to win in Iwo Jima. Tarawa, we weren't supposed to do things like that, but we did them.
Politics isn't the grunt's game, but he does have a clear view of his enemy and a definite opinion of him.
Saddam Hussein is obviously a war criminal in my mind, killing his own people, using gas.
Any man that uses chemical warfare against anybody is known to be, you know, dangerous, an assassin, a fanatical.
Proud, courageous, yes, and at times arrogant. That is the Marine way. Drew Hadwell, WAFF, 48 News.
Drew's special report continues tomorrow night with a look at the huge complex known as Camp Pendleton. His reports will air at 5:30 and at 10.
For local reservists, the concerns of war are very real. Some have already shipped out for Gulf duty while others undergo training. Tonight, News 48's Drew Hadwell and Wes Terrain continue their exclusive special reports on these local units. We begin with Drew Hadwell at the Marine Training Center at Camp Pendleton, California.
A quiet, relaxing afternoon on the beach, while these Californians bask in the warmth of the dry Santa Anas just a few miles away. Not quite Muscle Beach, but every bit as demanding, if not more so. Camp Pendleton covers 250,000 square acres of some of the most difficult Southern California terrain. Recruits are marched up and down these mountains. Without a doubt, Camp Pendleton is one of the largest Marine installations in the United States. More than 36,000 Marines are stationed here. And one thing that truly sets this base apart from all the others is security. It is extremely high.
Normally on Marine Corps installations, security is one of our primary objectives. Due to the training and the equipment that we do have on board is very special, and we take great pride in it. So not just anyone can come on base.
Media coverage is severely restricted. Terrorism is a real threat here and at all Marine installations.
Right, cease.
The Marines from Huntsville's Kilo Battery are stationed at Las Flores. It's one of 9 camps on the installation. Accommodations are sparse and comforts few, but we've heard no complaints.
I love it. I've been in 10 years now, and get it in your blood, it's hard to get it out, so I like it a whole lot.
That's better than being in a tent. Yeah, it's all right.
Formerly Camp Elliott, Pendleton was activated in 1942 and served as the Marine Processing Center for the Pacific War. Now it's the mobilization center for yet another potential world conflict. Drew Hadwell, WAFF, 48 News.
While their loved ones face the process behind. Tonight, News 48's Drew Hadwell concludes his special report on local Marines now at Camp Pendleton, California, and their families here at home.
My name's Corporal Mike Wally. I'm from Arab. I got married Sunday before we left, and I'd like to say hi to my wife, and I'll be home soon.
I guess you just always think about that first Christmas you're married. You spend it together, and I'm not going to get to do that.
Their wedding was a harried affair. Lisa and Corporal Mike Wally had planned to marry someday, but not on December 2nd. Now he's awaiting deployment at Camp Pendleton while Candace attempts to go about her life in Arab. She works at a small flower and gift shop filled with all the trappings of Christmas. Question is, does she feel in the spirit?
No, not really. Bad time of the year for this to happen.
Her Christmas list is short this year, but it's a tall order.
Just hope they all get to come back home, everybody over there, and I hope everybody comes back safe.
I'm Sergeant Michael E. Cole. I'm from Florence, Alabama. I'm with Kilo Battery 414. I just like to say hello to my wife and my family, and everything's going fine out here.
And if they do go, there's no guarantee what's going to happen. I'm scared. I'm scared something horrible's going to happen, and there's always the possibility that he won't come home, and I'm not ready to deal with that. I just got him. I don't want to lose him.
Lisa and Mike had planned a May wedding. Now she's a bride of only 2 weeks. Like the Wallies, they rushed to the altar when he was called up. Today, she's preparing a care package bound for Pendleton. She has a Christmas tree, but is quite frank about her spirit.
I've been a total Scrooge. I don't want to partake in any of the festivities, the parties and the Christmas parties, the gift exchanges. I've just not really wanted to be a part of any of it.
The holidays will be an especially trying time for these families, and they understand in their minds that the military must come first right now. But in their hearts, it's still difficult to fathom. And in the coming weeks, we'll be showing you families attempting to cope with the separation and the fear that their loved ones could eventually go to war. Drew Hadwell, WAFF 48 News.
News 48 would like Marines left for Saudi Arabia, where war could await them.
Drew now joins us live from Southern California. He's near Norton Air Force Base with a report on the Marine deployment.
Drew, what was the general mood of the Marines as they left today?
Missy, I would have to say that they were very pumped up. They've been waiting quite a long time for this to happen, and at this point, they want to get over there and do the job that they're supposed to do. The bottom line here is the Marines of Huntsville's Kilo Battery are indeed on their way, and it's just part of a journey that started out with much delay. They were slated to ship out under cover of darkness during the early morning hours, but it just didn't come out that way. This was the scene this morning at an Air Force base somewhere in Southern California. Wall-to-wall Marines waiting for that flight taking them to Saudi Arabia and a perilous future. The jet was some 7 hours late. That was a huge C-5A troop cargo carrier. Much of the holdup stems from the massive troop mobilization effort. Just too many troops to move in such a short time. One thing I learned quickly was that the wait irritated these Marines more than their uncertain future.
I feel that I'm ready to do my job and do whatever it takes to bring victory to the United States.
It was well into the morning before the Marines boarded their jet. 5 jets will take them and their gear to Saudi Arabia. And if I sensed one thing today, it's that these Marines from Kilo are ready to go. And what they want most from us from Huntsville is their support. And you know another thing, Tom and Missy, I didn't sense any fear, and if there was any fear, they managed to hide it well. And when it comes to what they'd like to do to Saddam Hussein, well, I just can't tell you that on television. Good taste would have to prevail there. Use your imagination. Back to you.
We wish them well. Thank you very much, Drew. That's Drew Hadwell reporting live from Southern California. Armed Forces recruiters from